Under the impression of record numbers of refugees coming from France in small boats across the English Channel to Great Britain, the British House of Commons voted on Tuesday evening in the second reading for the controversial new asylum law of the Conservative Interior Minister Priti Patel. The bill went through with 366 to 265 votes, which among other things declares entry without an entry permit a crime, restricts illegally entered refugees to a temporary right of residence, and drastically tightened the penalties, my God, what a day, for people smuggling. At the same time, it should make it easier to apply for asylum abroad in Great Britain. The draft law is still a long way from coming into force. It still has to go to the House of Lords, where it's likely to meet with criticism, after which it would have to be discussed again in the committees. That will no longer happen before the parliamentary summer recess, which begins on Friday and ends on September 6th. After that, there's only a few weeks until the traditionally renewed interruption for the annual party congresses of the major parties. Approval is therefore not expected until the end of the year, if at all. While the left opposition and refugee organizations are rioting against the new hurdles for illegally entering the country, the right is agitating about the ever-increasing numbers of successfully entered refugees. On Monday, the record number of 430 boat refugees reached British waters in the English Channel, followed by a further 287 on Tuesday and around 100 on Wednesday morning, around 800 in 3 days, almost as many as in all of 2019. By Tuesday this year, 8,474 refugees have already entered the country and came to Great Britain by sea. That's more than in all of 2020. Experts point out that the new asylum law does not change anything. Almost all of the boat refugees are intercepted in British waters and transferred from their inflatables to the British Coast Guard speedboats. They then bring them to the coast, which means they are legally not allowed to enter illegally and therefore cannot be prosecuted under the new law, because they are brought in by the Coast Guard. In any case, the British Attorney General has already refused to prosecute Patel's planned new offensive of illegal entry, as the effort, costs and benefits are disproportionate. Meanwhile, eyewitnesses claim that the French Coast Guard is deliberately pulling refugee boats to empty the wild camps on France's beaches. On Tuesday, the French left a rubber dinghy with 13 Sudanese to a surprised British TV crew who were filming the refugee crisis in the sea. According to official information, France prevented around 6,000 refugees from crossing in the first half of the year, about as many as the number who managed to cross over the same period. But all the allegations, and especially the dinghy allegations we know from Farage, we will just leave those aside for a moment, I guess. Let's stay at least a little bit reasonable. I'll see you in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.